Hit the switch, lights down low, mic's alive and we're ready to go.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Screams, Dreams and Roller Coasters. This is the podcast where we explore things that terrify us, enthrall us, engage us, all things to do with screams, dreams and roller coasters.
We are going back today to a building that we've already spoken about in the previous podcast. We're going back to visit Belfast Jail. Now, this jail has got lots of stories, lots of history, also lots of stories about hauntings and paranormal activity. So we're going to go back and have a bit of a dive into this and look at the history and the hauntings of Belfast Jail.
Of course, because our last episode, we looked at the history of Belfast Jail.
We did.
We looked at the people who built it, the people who unfortunately lived there, the people who worked there. And so now we're going to be looking at a little bit more of the paranormal reports, the stories of the people that worked there, and just kind of unpicking some of those elements, aren't we?
We are, and as we've been to the place, we know what it feels like, what it looks like, the sort of atmosphere you get there, and it is quite oppressive in certain places, but obviously that can be open to suggestion. But we're going to look at the stories and the experiences that have been reported in the past at Belfast Jail by visitors and people who work there.
Here we go.
In our last episode, we covered the history of the jail. Today's episode is different. This time, we're exploring people who may have never left. From staff reports and visitor experiences to long-standing stories that refuse to fade. These are the reported hauntings of Belfast Jail. So lights low, doors locked. Let's begin.
Crumlin Road Jail operated for 150 years. Thousands of prisoners passed through its doors. Men, women, children, political prisoners and condemned inmates. 17 men were executed here and many more died inside the walls from illness, violence, or the harsh conditions. And if you believe in residual energy, the idea that trauma leaves an imprint, then Belfast Jail really does have a lot of it. Almost from the moment it closed in 1996, stories began circulating. Builders, security guards, and early tour staff all reported strange experiences. So things such as cold spots, disembodied footsteps, voices, objects moving, and the same locations kept coming up again and again. For instance, the C Wing, often described as the most active area of the jail. Staff have reported hearing cell doors slamming shut even when the wing is completely empty. It's worth noting that C Wing is where the condemned man's cell and the gallows are both located. So this knowledge may play a part, even if it's just subconsciously. Suggestion and priming from the environment is always worth being aware of. Visitors regularly mention sudden drops in temperature, especially near certain cells, despite the rest of the wing being warm.
Experiences is the sound of footsteps pacing along the upper tiers. And what's unsettling is that these footsteps are often heard above visitors, on levels that are locked and inaccessible. Several tour guides have also claimed to hear whispering, not loud enough to understand, but just enough to notice. Some guides say their radios have picked up unexplained interference or voices when walking alone in C Wing. If there's one place that consistently unsettles visitors, it's the execution chamber. People often report feeling dizzy, emotional, or suddenly overwhelmed upon entering. Some visitors have claimed to feel pressure around their neck or chest, something guides are careful to mention only after the experience, just to avoid suggestion. And that is so important in order to protect your experience. Staff have reported lights flickering specifically in this room, even after electrical checks have showed no faults. There are also stories of shadowy figures seen near the trapdoor, figures that vanish when approached. And perhaps the most disturbing reports come from people who say they hear quiet breathing or muffled crying. Again, these are reported experiences, not proven facts, but they are consistent across many years.
The underground tunnel connecting the jail to the courthouse is one of the eeriest locations, even without the ghost stories. It's narrow, damp, and completely cut off from natural light. Visitors often report feeling watched while walking through it, and some claim to hear footsteps behind them, only to turn around and find that no one is there. Others report hearing the faint sound of chains dragging or doors creaking open and shut. Security staff working late shifts have said that the motion sensors have been triggered repeatedly in the tunnel despite no one being present. Then we think about the female wing, where there was also child prisoners held. It's another reported hotspot for activity. Staff have described hearing soft sobbing, humming, or what even sounds like a woman calling out. There are also reports tied to the jail's youngest inmates, children who were imprisoned for minor crimes. Some visitors claim to hear laughter or footsteps that sound too light to belong to an adult. And whether this is psychological or paranormal, these stories tend to hit people emotionally more than anything else within Belfast jail.
Some of the most compelling stories have come from staff, people who work in the jail regularly and aren't looking for scares. Several employees have reported being touched on the shoulder when alone. Others describe doors unlocking themselves or alarms going off without any explanation. One former security guard has claimed that he refused to patrol certain areas alone after repeatedly hearing his name being called. And many staff say they experience a strong sense of unease, as if they're being watched, particularly after closing time. Of course, not everyone believes Belfast jail is haunted. Old buildings make noise and temperatures change. Drafts travel through the corridors, and the power of suggestion could play a big part, and we really need to be mindful that this doesn't cloud our thinking. And when you know the history, your mind can fill in the gaps. But what keeps the stories alive is consistency. Similar experiences reported by different people and years apart. Belief aside, the atmosphere alone is enough to unsettle the most skeptical visitor.
So whether you believe in ghosts or not, Belfast jail really does leave an impression. It definitely left an impression with us, didn't it?
It did, yeah. And I think anybody who goes there would find it really difficult not to have an impression left.
Yeah, of course, because it's a place where there was suffering, there was fear, there was hope, and it all just collided. And maybe, just maybe, something got left and imprinted on the environment behind it.
Yeah, and obviously there were people that were guilty there, but you can bet your bottom dollar there were a lot of people that weren't. And when you think about children being in prison there for some of the things they were in prison for, it's got to torture the soul.
Absolutely. And if walls could talk, some would scream, some would just leave a whisper. And that's it for this episode of Belfast Jail, The Hauntings. We hope that you've enjoyed it and tuning in with us again here at Scream, Streams and Roller Coasters.
And feel free to get involved if you want to send in your stories of any hauntings or any experiences, whether you've had it at places we've been, whether we've talked about them or things that come up in the future. Feel free to contact us at Screams, Dreams and Roller Coasters @gmail.com, or you can contact us on Instagram or Facebook.
Or just leave a message in the comments section below. And it will really help us to grow the channel, and to every comment you make, every like you make pushes up the algorithms. So thank you. So send us in your stories and join in with our community, and we'll see you next time for more Screams,
Dreams
and Roller Coasters. Bye.
Hit the switch, lights down low, mic's alive and we're ready to go. From the haunted halls to the neon rides, chasing chills and electric highs. Katie's got the ghost report, Mark's screams you can't ignore. From Comic-Con to midnight screams, it's more than thrills, it's chasing dreams. We're turning static into stories. Ride the loop, no guts, no glory. Young screams, dreams, and roller coasters. Turn it up, we're getting closer to the heart of the night, and the lights in our eyes, spinning through the dark on a wild new ride. Screams, dreams, and roller coasters. Katie and Mark are your ghostly hosts. Yeah, plug in, hang tight, let your spirit fly. We're chasing every thrill under moonlit skies. Pixel worlds and phantom sounds. Every topic turns around. From spooky myths to gaming streams, we're living loud, we're chasing dreams. Every drop, every twist, you don't wanna miss this mix. Buckle in, hit subscribe, this is life amplified. From ghost towns to VR zones, you'll never ride this track alone. Yeah, screams, dreams, and roller coasters. Turn it up, we're getting closer to the heart of the night, and the lights in our eyes, spinning through the dark on a wild new ride. Screams, dreams, and roller coasters. Katie and Mark are your ghostly hosts. Yeah, plug in, hang tight, let your spirit fly. We're chasing every thrill under moonlit skies. Yeah. Haunted laughter in stereo echoes where the brave won't go. Press play, the journey starts. Two voices, one wild heart. Yeah, screams,